I mean, really, we can just wrap it up, take it on home. Really. I mean, between Warren Cooper and everybody else, really, the message has already been delivered this morning. You'll see in a moment. As soon as I can get into it. So, well, Happy New Year again, everybody. Happy New Year. And a new year means a new theme for us. And our theme for 2026, head and heart, one mind. Head and heart, one mind. And so I started a practice last year of starting the talk off with a moment of gratitude. Why a moment of gratitude? Well, because gratitude, it opens us up to receive insight and revelation, not any insight or revelation that might be coming from me, but the insight and revelation that is already within you. Gratitude, it opens us up to experience the love that is so prevalent in this place. It opens us up to the divine. And so I could just say open up, but many of you would have to travel to get there. So we start with gratitude because it takes us right to where we want to be. So what I'll do in a moment is I'll ask you to put your attention on your heart, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And we are in the act of changing our energy. When we change our energy, we open up. So let us take a deep breath right here. Giving ourselves the opportunity to open up to new possibilities and new experiences. I invite you simply then just to put your attention on your heart. That is, to pay attention to your heart and the emotions of the heart. And if you're so moved, you can put your hand over your heart. Pay attention. Feel the energy, the essence of gratitude. Feel it in your heart. Feel it. And this morning I want to invite you to bring to mind, big or small, something in your life that was seemingly impossible. Something in your life that you didn't know how, you didn't know where, you didn't know when, you didn't know who, and seemingly out of nowhere. That thing, bring it to mind and be grateful for it. Drop deeper into your heart and be grateful. Feel it. Feel it even more. Be grateful. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for them. Be grateful for the insight. Be grateful for the house. Be grateful for the money. Be grateful. Feel it in your heart. Feel it. Slowly begin to bring your attention and your awareness back, becoming ever aware of the chair that you're sitting in, feeling your feet planted on the floor on solid ground, grounded in it, bringing your attention and your awareness back. Slowly come back. Slowly come back. Opening your eyes when you are ready. Let us all just take a collective breath together here. And I invite you just to stay open for the remainder of our time together. So here we are with a new year and a new theme, head and heart, and I'm still starting with spiritual principles to help get us grounded and anchored in the message for today. I'm reading from Ernest Holmes and What We Believe. We have listed out what Ernest Holmes wrote some 100 years ago, and we've added some jargon to it. And this morning we're working with spiritual principle number 1, and it reads, we believe in God, the living spirit, almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. We believe that the manifest universe, that's you and that's me, is the body of God and everything else, for it is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. Spiritual principle number 7, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. And spiritual principle number 5, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I was thinking, how did I get here? How did I get here? How did I get here to these teachings and this way of living? How did I get here? A black girl from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I mean, who knows where Murfreesboro, Tennessee is, except for the people who live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But how did I get here to these teachings, to this way of living? Well, how I got here, or how did I get here, was there always seemed to be, from my little girl perspective, just below the surface or right above the surface, just a sense of sadness at the people in my life. Just, when I could get beyond my kid self and all the kid stuff that I was doing, it just seemed to be there. And the older I got, this sense of sadness seemed to be prevalent. And not only was there a sense of sadness, there also seemed to be an extreme sense of anger. People either seemed to be sad or they seemed to be angry. And they wasn't just angry, it was extreme. That was my perspective as a little girl, and I couldn't understand it. So all I had to go on was what I could see and what my experience was. Now, I don't really know if they were sad, the people around me, or if it was indeed extreme anger, but it's certainly what it looked like. And at some point in time, in experiencing this, I told my little self that they're sad and there's nothing they can do about it. It seemed that way, that they were angry that life was that's just the way life was. And for the life of me, I couldn't fathom the idea that my life too would be one where a sense of sadness would just follow me through my days, and that there was simply nothing that I could do about it. It stuck with me, it stayed with me, and I had a testimony, and I would speak up, and I would tell people, I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that, I ain't doing that. Nope. It was my testimony, and my testimony oftentimes got me in trouble. Because then other people would say, you know, my family, they call me, my name is Cheyenne, and they call me Shy. And so I would be talking to someone, telling them what I'm not going to do, and then they would go and tell somebody, well, Shy said. She ain't doing this, and she ain't doing that. And I got some early morning phone calls. Why are you saying that? Well, I couldn't fathom the idea that that was life. That my circumstances and my conditions would control me, and that there was nothing that I could do. I couldn't fathom the idea. And there was a few things that I saw people do that seemed to bring them some sense of hope. You know, they would sing about love. But I don't know if they quite understood the power of love. If they wasn't singing, then they'd be praying. And they'd be praying, but I'm not sure if they were believing that their prayers would be answered. So it only seemed to be temporary, that there was some sense of hope. This was my experience. This is from my perspective. And although people would sing, and the singing was good, and it made them feel good momentarily, and it made me feel good, and although people would pray, it just didn't seem to change their lives in a real, substantial kind of way where joy was prevalent, and love was prevalent, and peace was prevalent all the time. I couldn't fathom it. So I went from Tennessee to Kansas, back to Tennessee to Kansas, to Germany, from Germany to Texas, all over Texas, from Texas to Turkey, from Turkey to Georgia, from Georgia to New Jersey, from New Jersey to Philadelphia. And I found a whole bunch of people who couldn't fathom the idea that there was nothing they could do about their circumstances and the conditions of their life. Ernest Holmes says to suppose that the creative intelligence of the universe would create a man in bondage and leave him bound would be to dishonor the creative power which we call God. He says it's impossible for us to be here and not have within us what we need to affect the conditions and circumstances in our life. He says that this seed of truth, that it must be planted in the midst of you and in the midst of me, and like the prodigal son, each one of us will have to discover this truth for ourselves. We have everything we need within us to change the conditions and the circumstances in our life. In the Science of Mind textbook, in the foreword that was written by Jean Houston, and if you don't know who she is, you should look her up. She's done some mighty work, but she wrote the foreword to the textbook. I don't know what year it was, but here's what she said. She says, the science of mind gives us the passion for new possibility, along with precise and clear directions for building a new matrix of mind and manifestation. It shows us how to activate the constructive imagination and how to hold in thought the feeling, the intention, and energy for healing, holding, and co-creation. It shows us how to stop boring God by waking up to the fact that we are here in God's school to learn the principles of world making and the evolving of self and society. Evolution is seen to follow involution, wherein we discover that our minds are stargates, our bodies sailed by mysteries that give us keys to the emergent phase of our existence. She says, Ernest Holmes was one of the first to direct us to what is to be found in the vast ecology of inner space. In his scope of understanding and application, he anticipated and prepared the field for the revolution in mind and brain research that was to come. And boy, has it come. The patterns of an emergent sacred psychology are offered in the knowing that as we go within, we can access the depth structures of our being and build bridges to the great archetypal realm wherein lie the dynamic designs that form and reform our reality. She says, the science of mind shows us how to be active and creative citizens in a universe and interverse richer than any previous imaginings. And some answers to the questions. How can we deal with a world in the throes of whole system transitions in which everything that we have known is changing at so rapid a pace that we are caught between the dangers that threaten us and the opportunities that beckon us? She says, educated for the demands of a different time and culture, we are called to be re-educated to use much more of ourselves in meeting the new many challenges that confront us. She says, we have no choice but to democratize greatness and utilize the whole continuum of human and divine potential. The science of mind says that not only is it possible, it is what is expected of us. For the first time in human history, we are required as a species to extend ourselves into radically new ways of being. The tasks that are now ours, the tasks of virtual creation, compel the revolution in consciousness that tells us that we are part of the great unfolding of spirit in flesh. She says, these are the time and we are the people. These are the times and we are the people. She says that you and I, we are world makers. World makers. In other words, I am the maker of my world. Come on, join me. I am the maker of my world. One more time. I am the maker of my world. I couldn't fathom that there wasn't anything that people could do. And if there's something we could do, as Ernest Holmes suggests, then why don't we do it? Let us be determined that this is the year. You and me, this is the year that we live in a state of expectancy. This is the year. If there's something we can do, we ought to do it. This is the year that healing takes place in the center of peace. This is the year that more people come to know themselves as whole, perfect, and complete. This is the year. If it's abundance, you're abundant. Let this be the year. If it's something you can do, do it. I couldn't fathom the idea that there was nothing that I could do. That's how I got here. So our theme for the month of January is the blueprint. And you might be asking yourself, or you might be saying in your head, well, how are we going to build a new world? You might be asking yourself, just how are we going to build a new matrix of mind and manifestation? How do we activate our imagination? And how do we hold in thought and feeling the intention and energy for healing and holding and creating? How do we stop boring God? How do we do it? Well, in the Science of Mind textbook, in the introductory section of the book, there's 4 sections, and there is the blueprint. It's the blueprint. And let me just say, it's not only in the Science of Mind textbook, it's in any New Thought kind of readings and teachings, you'll find it. It doesn't matter what your religion is, you'll find this same thing laid out, whether your religion is a religion of football or your religion is a religion of the mystical and the magical. It's the same blueprint. Why do you think so many people show up at the football game? It's church. The blueprint. They're there to feel something. Wouldn't you agree? To get beyond themselves, the conditions and the circumstances in their life so they can be present in the moment to feel something other than they were feeling a moment ago. It doesn't matter what your religion is. The blueprint is the blueprint. And if you can do something about the conditions and circumstances in your life, well, shouldn't we? Yeah. So in the Science of Mind textbook, in the introduction section, there's 4 parts. And right away, Ernest Holmes suggests that the day will come when it will be proven just how powerful our thoughts are. Just how powerful what we think and what we feel. Just how powerful it is that that within you, your ability to think and to feel, that though you can't see the effects of your thinking on your life, your thinking affects every part of your life. And soon, science will prove it to be so. And he gives us the opportunity right away to transcend our thoughts of God, to move us into our experience of God. The title for the introductory section in part 1 is the thing itself. He says, or I'm saying, that whatever it is or whatever it ain't, it's the thing itself. Now let's get to it. We don't need to spend too much time discussing what God is or what God ain't. Whatever it is and whatever it ain't, it is the thing itself. So he says that this is the thing itself, that in us it consists of our mind. And none of us knows where the mind is. So stop trying to find it. It doesn't matter. We don't know what the mind is, but we know what the mind does. And since we know what the mind does, since there's something that we could do about our conditions and our circumstances, we should do something about it. So, this is what he calls pure consciousness. And he says that we should learn how to think. To learn how to think is to learn how to live. And if you think that there's nothing that you can do about the circumstances and the situations, the conditions in your life, then think again. But it's not only that we are called to think again, we are called to feel again. Many of us already know how to think again, but most of us are unaware of how to feel. But thinking consists of feeling and thinking. It is the head and the heart that constitutes the mind. It is the head and the heart. It's one mind. Ernest Holmes calls it the objective mind and the subjective mind. It's still one mind. He says it's one mind, two names, objective and subjective, conscious and unconscious. It's the head and the heart. It's the mind and the body. Two names, one mind. The head and the heart, one mind. It's what we think and it's what we feel. Head and heart, it's pure energy. And that's all that it is. That's all that we are. So it's essential that we come to a greater experience of coming to know what is this feeling thing all about? And what is it that I'm trying to feel? It's important. It's the thing we can do that can affect our conditions and our circumstances. In the Science of Mind textbook, the introductory section, this is a short reading. I want to read you what Ernest Holmes says. I'm on page 31. He says, the simplest way to state the proposition is to say that we have a conscious mind that operates within a subjective field, which is creative. The conscious mind is spirit, the subjective mind is law. One is a complement of the other, and no real individuality could be expressed without a combination of both. No man has ever plummeted the depths of either the conscious or the subjective life. In both directions, we reach out to infinity, and since we cannot encompass infinity, we shall always be expanding and always enlarging our capacity to know and to experience. We need not ask why these things are so. They are, there can be no reason given as to why the truth is truth. We do not create laws and principles, but discover and make use of them. Let us accept this position relative to the laws of mind and spirit and see what we can do with them, rather than how we may contradict the inevitable. Head and heart, what you think and what you feel. He suggests that one complements the other. One complements the other. The head thinks and the heart feels. One complements the other. So then what we have to do is we have to get our heads to stop thinking about everything all the time, every time. We have to stop our heads from thinking about the past over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then with our hearts, we have to have our hearts simply to settle down so that the head and the heart can work together. So that the objective mind, so that the subjective mind is a complement of the objective mind. So that there's something for your thought, the truth that is within you, so there's somewhere for it to go, so that it starts to change the circumstances and the conditions in your life. Because if there's something we can do about it, then we ought to do something about it. One complements the other. And if we don't want things to stay the same, if you don't want things to stay the same, she suggested that healing can happen. Wholeness can happen. Creation can happen. The science of mind can teach you how to do this. This is step number 1. Feel what it feels like to be experiencing the essence of God, whatever it is and whatever it ain't, the thing itself. It's the blueprint. And Joe Dispenza suggests then that we've got to get beyond the familiar feelings of the past and the predictable feelings of the future. No, many of you knew that, or some of you know that I went to the Joe Dispenza retreat last year, and I told you there were 1,800 people there. And for these people, it wasn't just some place for them to go to. They were going there, at least 200 of them, for a healing. Well, doesn't that sound like church? So there was 200 people there. They went there expecting to heal. They couldn't fathom that there was nothing that they could do about the conditions and the circumstances in their life. Kids, babies, newborns were there because their parents expected a healing. And then the rest of us, all 1,800 of us, were there because we were expecting to change the conditions and the circumstances in our lives. Well, don't that sound like church? Sounds like church to me. And just not some place to go. That when we walk through the doors, that we have a sense of expectancy. That if I'm not feeling whole, when I walk up out of here, I'm going to be feeling whole. If I don't feel healed, that when I walk up out of here, I'm going to be feeling the experience of what it means for you to be healed. Not just some place to come to. It's good that I get to look at you and you get to look at me and we get to hug, but we should be with a great sense of expectancy. Not just some place to come to. Those people paid thousands of dollars for this. It's true. For this. For this. So we've got to get beyond the familiar feelings of the past and the predictable feelings of the future. And just how do we do that? Well, last year I suggested that you ain't got to get over yourself, but you do have to get beyond yourself. You do got to get beyond the people, the places, the things that's tying you to the effects of your world, Mr. and Mrs. World Maker. You got to get beyond that. You got to get over that. You got to get beyond yourself. Beyond your title, beyond your home, beyond the past, beyond the predictable future. You have to get beyond yourself so that you find yourself immersed in the present moment. Joe Dispenza calls it the generous present moment. It's like this, and I hope that this can help you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't quite have the right words, but here it is. What I'm trying to say here is that we should expect something. We should always be expecting something. And expecting something is different from thinking about something. Yeah, we're here to change our thinking and change our life and to change our energy and to change our life, to change our thinking and to change our life and to change our energy and to change our life, to change our thinking and to change our life. But expecting something and thinking something is two different things. So we have to be expecting something. Those people walked in there expecting to be healed. And if there's something that we can do, then we ought to do it. We should be expecting to experience joy. I don't know about you, but I'm expecting to experience joy. I'm expecting my experience here on earth to be one that's enjoyable, one that is good. I'm expecting the people in my life to be good people. I'm expecting to be drawn to and drawn away from that which is calling out and calling up the best in me. I'm expecting to have all my needs met. I'm expecting to have all the money that I need, all the love that I need. I'm expecting it. Not only should we be expecting it, so we expect something and feel nothing. Feel nothing. What I'm trying to say here is that when you get beyond yourself, when you get beyond your environment, when you get beyond your body, when you get beyond time, there's nothing left. So the feeling is a feeling, the best way I can describe it is nothing. It feels like when you are engaged in doing the thing that you love to do the most, where you lose track of time. You're not engaged in anything. You're not worried about him. You're not worried about her. You're not thinking about them. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're just simply in the moment, in this now moment, the generous now moment. Do y'all know what I'm talking about when I say it feels like you can lose track of time? That's it. That's it. And that feeling is so undeniable that the more you give yourself the opportunity to practice it and to practice experiencing it, to practice experiencing it, to practice experiencing it, to feel it, to allow yourself to be immersed in it, to feel it, not concerned about what people might be saying and what people might be thinking, but to experience it, it becomes so familiar to you that you know it in your heart. That feeling, that's the feeling. We are here to get hooked on a feeling. We're here to get hooked on a feeling. It's necessary. If you don't think that there's anything that you could do about the conditions and the circumstances in your life, don't just think again, feel again. Come on, Al, give me a little bit of music. And I want to invite you to join me in feeling. You know what it feels like. You said you know what it feels like. Take yourself there. Come on. Like the prodigal son, it's you and I who must discover it for ourselves. The undeniable feeling of love, the undeniable feeling of joy, the undeniable feeling of the presence of God. Come on. Feel it. Feel it. Don't search for it. Feel it. The infinite nothingness. Feel it. Feel it in your heart. Come on, don't let your body talk you out of it. Feel it. This sacred, infinite nothingness. Feel it. It's the space in front of you. And it's infinite. Feel it. Feel it within you. Feel it all around you. Feel it way out beyond you. Feel it. How far can your awareness go? Feel it behind you. Feel it. The infinite nothingness. Feel it. Sense it. Notice it. Pay attention to it. Feel it. Feel it on both sides of you. The infinite nothingness. Feel it. And in this moment, become more of it and less of you. Feel it. Feel it. Undeniable feeling and sense. The energy and the essence of presence is never an absence. Feel it. Feel it within you and all around you. Is undeniable. Slowly, slowly, let us all bring our attention and our awareness back. Come back. Slowly. Bring your attention and your awareness back. Feeling yourself supported in the chairs that you're sitting in, knowing that your feet is planted on solid ground. Come back. And when you're ready to open your eyes, you may do so. And so it is. And so as we journey on throughout our week, world makers, if you think there's nothing that you can do to change the conditions and the circumstances in your life. Think again. And feel the undeniable essence of life expressing through you, in you, and as you, because it is you. Feel again. Tell your neighbor, feel again. And so it is.